Alright guys, welcome to your 22nd iPhone development tutorial. In the last tutorial we were working in the interface file, and in this tutorial we're going to be working in the implementation file, so no small talk here, let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and of course we need to import SwitchClass.h. Look at that, I already typed it in for us. And now under synthesize window, what we want to do is we also want to synthesize that SwitchClass object we made. Don't forget, that's the one that we retained. We created that in the last tutorial. We're just synthesizing it so we don't have to build setter and getter methods. So after this, what we want to do is we want to start working in the application did finish launching, and this is the method that gets ran automatically when your application is done launching. So what do we want to do pretty much as soon as our application launches? We want to add that SwitchClass's view to the main window. So in order to do this, go ahead and window, that's your main window. We want to add subview, and this view that we want to add is pretty much this. Alright, as soon as your application starts running, what view do we want to add? Well, we want to add SwitchClass, the view from that class, because remember, this is the class that's going to manage all the other views. So this is the one we want to show them first. So after this, all we need to do is in our deallocation method, just go ahead and release that SwitchClass object. So SwitchClass release, because don't forget, in our interface file we retained it right here. So anything that we retained, or excuse me, it's this one, anyone that we retain, we have to release it eventually. So now that we did that, what we're saying is pretty much, alright, as soon as our main window pops up, as soon as we press our program to start our application up, show them that SwitchClass's view. So since we said show them that SwitchClass view, I think it would only be fair to start building something in SwitchClass. So go ahead in your interface file for SwitchClass and delete all these dumb comments. I wish there was a way it's like automatically don't give me any comments, but I don't think there is. So anyways, alright, now check it out. Like I said 100 times before, all this class is pretty much a manager for all the other classes. So let's go ahead and import class blue class and class red class. So now what we need to do is we need to build objects to be able to access those classes. So red class, build an object called red class, and blue class, build an object called blue class. Make sure I spelled everything right. Close enough. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add property, retain, non-atomic, red class, and red class. Now just copy this right here, copy and paste blue class and blue class. So what we did here is pretty much build objects to access anything that's in the red class and blue class, and we pretty much built the setter and getter methods for us without having to synthesize it yet, but we'll do that later on. So aside from this, what this switch class needs to be able to do is it only has one other action in it, and the action that it needs to have is to be able to switch from one view to another view. Again, that's the cool thing, we only had to build one method in here, and that's going to be the action. So IB action, just name this like switch views, and of course it's going to take a parameter ID sender like everything else we typed so far. So what we did in, that's probably enough for this tutorial. That's all the code I'm going to type, and in next tutorial we're going to be hopping in an interface builder and connecting everything. But what I did is pretty much import my classes, of course, and then build objects to access my classes, and then we're going to build property because we want to build setter and getter methods for these objects, but we don't want to have to type manually, so that's why we did this. In our action, what this action or method is going to do is it's just going to, whenever you click that button, it's going to switch from one class to the other class. Really simple. So that's all I'm going to show you guys in this tutorial. We'll be connecting everything in the next tutorial and be going over some other stuff, but I won't explain it now because what's the use? That's what the next tutorial's for. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you then.